Back now with a sense of security and the connection to Northeast Arkansas. School shootings are nothing new. The first documented shooting in America dates back to 1764. That was when a student opened fire at a Greencastle, Pennsylvania school, killing 9 students. In 2022, school shootings reached the highest number in 20 years. 31 people have been killed on campuses in 2022 alone. And every time a shooting happens, the emotion of such a tragedy hits home here in Northeast Arkansas, having experienced a tragedy of its own on March 24th, 1998, when 2 students killed fellow classmates and a teacher at Westside Middle School. And a warning, as we prepare to show you these next stories, we will be discussing the Westside Middle School shooting. We want to warn you, some of this may be disturbing and viewer discretion is advised. We begin with how that March 1998 day changed our sense of school security.
March 24, 1998.
A spring day.
Day like any other day.
That would quickly change for many.
Never ever expected such tragedy to happen.
As the unthinkable would unfold. 2 students, 11 and 13, opened fire on their classmates, killing 4 students and a teacher.
It was at that time, it was almost the unthinkable. It was something no one ever thought about.
Like a war zone.
A day that would change the lives of current Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and former Westside Middle School Principal Dr. Karen Kurtner.
You don't have to think long about what happened. It instantly comes back to you. I don't know that it'll ever go away.
Around noon, the fire alarm went off. As dozens exited the building, shots rang out.
I was floored. I couldn't imagine in my mind that 2 young boys that age could have done something.
The day of the Westside tragedy changed a community and a nation.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, the killings in Arkansas. One of the children was trained in target shooting.
Only the second mass school shooting in America to receive major national television coverage, the tragedy opened the eyes of the nation.
We were very, unprepared really, because we never thought we would have such a crisis like that.
Reflecting on that day in her office as the Nettleton School District Superintendent, Dr. Kurtner remembers how unprepared she was. There was no plan for an active shooter, but as more shooting scenes would play out.
They already fired it off, we were rolling on it.
Those like the Columbine High School shooting just months later, Dr. Kurtner said preparedness changed.
We're more prepared today when I look at all the things, the changes that have been made, and not only just Nettleton School District, but a lot of school districts and even around the state and even all around the country.
School shootings had to be of concern, and there had to be plans. For Kurtner, those plans involved students, staff, parents, and law enforcement, and an open line of communication.
We have radios that not only now connect to each other at the school district, we have our SROs with radios that are connected directly to JPD and also to the Sheriff's Department.
Chief Elliott explains how his department works with districts across the city.
We sat down with the schools a couple times a year to discuss things going on and just kind of share information back and forth and concerns.
Those conversations did not happen before the Westside Middle School shooting, but immediately after, Kurtner made sure armed officers were inside her buildings. It would be the start of the school resource officer movement.
There's no way, in my opinion, to handle a person with a firearm unless you've got a firearm yourself.
If something does happen at your school, we're going to give it a quick and swift response and take care of the situation.
Districts now plan for the worst. They have crisis plans. In Kurtner's district, those aren't printed to avoid falling in the hands of the wrong person, but they are practiced and they are revised after any incident in the country.
We're all on standby. We encourage any help that we can get, whether it's to prepare our teachers to be more prepared during a crisis situation, what to do, how to do.
Northeast Arkansas and the nation watches as tragedy unfolds right here in our own backyard.
Walked quietly along the sidewalk here as they are supposed to do, came around the corner, and life changed for everyone.
The goal is to prevent scenes like this from being repeated, but if they are, it's to save lives.
And it is whatever it takes. When it comes to safety, safety is first and foremost in our district.
Now, nearly 25 years have passed since that fateful day. For those who lived through it, it is a day they will not forget. Our Griffin Demaray talked with those who survived the shooting.
Images like this ingrained in the memories of students at Westside Middle School.
Panic. Yep, sheer panic.
Victoria and Valerie Webb are twins who both attended Westside. They recall the day their lives changed forever.
None of us really realized what the full magnitude of what was going on until the principal ran at us and said, run, run to the gym. She just screamed at us.
Popping sounds filled the air.
We just thought that they were, I don't know, dropping boards on top of each other or something, and turns out that was not it. So we were like, well, okay, well, maybe somebody's shooting fireworks, because we heard them coming by us. We heard, we could hear the bullets, I guess.
The confusion and panic were the goals for the gunmen. As Webb said, it played right into their plan.
They were outside of the school waiting for us. They pulled the fire alarm and, started shooting as soon as we came out the doors.
Those bullets just missed Victoria Webb, but took the lives of 4 other students, including one of her closest friends, Natalie Brooks.
I was standing in a group of kids, and the one beside me, Natalie Brooks, she was killed in the shooting. She was shot in the head, right square right there, and it was not what you would think you would see if somebody was shot in the head, but it was a very disturbing image.
Victoria said, it's like that moment is frozen in time.
Every time I think of the shooting, all I see is her laying on the ground, shot in the head.
The twins said all the students were brought to the gym where fellow classmates who had been shot lined up against the walls.
It's a gut-wrenching feeling that no child should ever have to experience, and it's just heartbreaking that it's still happening today.
In the days after, students from across the country mailed Westside students letters of support. But those acts of kindness don't take the sting out of a forever wound.
Scared. I stayed scared for a long, long time.
This will never go away. This is something that is life-changing.
When the two look back on March 24th, 1998, they said it shaped their lives and made them stronger.
I hate that it sounds that way, but you have to find the good in everything, or life is just miserable.
Sisters who will carry on the memory of a tragedy for the rest of their lives. In Jonesboro, Griffin Demaray, Region 8 News.
Victoria and Valerie both have children of their own now who all go to Westside. They both said there was nowhere else they'd rather have their kids go to school.
Preparing for the patients, hospitals gear up just in case. Coming up, how they get ready for a life-changing event such as a mass shooting, and fighting to survive, how you can make a difference in preventing and responding to a mass casualty event. Sense of security, protecting our children, is back after this.